Hey, how we doing? Once again, welcome back to the choices we make. Let's talk about it. I'm your host, Robert T. Gardner Jr., aka the Relationship Change Agent. And yes, in the background you hear yet another breakup song. Something in my heart. And today, or tonight I should say, we're talking about another subject related to the breakup. Child support. Oh my God. I remember a long time ago, a good friend of mine, before I had kids, he said, "Yo, Bob, let me tell you something, man. They don't play. In the child support courts, they do not play." But of course, I didn't listen to him because I didn't have any children. I'm like, well, okay, that's cool. That's not a problem I need to be concerned about. But I was wrong, because eventually I would go on to have children. And any father, whether you are a father or not, child support is a very serious issue. As a matter of fact, it is hard for me to believe that like child support court is no joke. Like my friend was telling me, I cannot believe that such an arbitrary and capricious, draconian process exists here in America, so-called a free democracy. Well, it's free until you get to child support. Let me tell you, first of all, I just want to be clear that I'm all for support for our children. Fathers, we should provide financial support, emotional support, and all the other supports that go along with taking care of our children. And mothers should do the same if, in the rare instance, the father is a custodial parent. But beyond that, I'd like to say that my experience with child support, oh my God, that's another big OMG. I'll tell you a little story about child support, because see, you have to pay child support no matter what, fathers, and those of you who are out there already paying child support, or who are unable to pay child support because you may be unemployed or what have you, dodging the system, which is very hard to do. Let me tell you a little story. This was around July 2005. At this point, I'm about $3,000 in arrears, which means I fell behind in my child support because I was unemployed at the time. So if you're unemployed, quite naturally, you may not be able to pay your child support. Okay? So the ex-wife, summons me to the child support court. And a couple of things happened before we got started. First, I noticed that she wasn't there. She had sent her brother, to represent her on her behalf, because she was chilling out in the Bahamas. So I'm in child support court, me, her brother. And then another thing I noticed, the hearing officer was a black woman. And I was like, oh my God, an African American, somebody who looks like me, a sister. She might understand what a brother's going through. Because you see, at that point in time, I had been to family court and child support court about a number of different issues. But all of the judges were white. And so today, I'm thinking I lucked up. It's a sister who's going to hear my case and understand my circumstance. So I was excited. Plus, the ex-wife wasn't there. So I'm thinking, whoa, this is going to be good. Anyway, I get up, they call me, Robert Gardner. Yes. Why have you not paid your child support? So I explained to the African American judge who looked like me. At least I thought she looked like me, but she certainly wasn't for me. So anyway, I explained to her that I was unemployed at the time. However, when I was employed, my child support was paid and I was up to speed on my child support. But at this particular time, I fell behind because, I had rent and car note. Not to mention that I explained to the judge that I was a diabetic and I have hypertension. And I explained that a bottle of insulin that I have to take in order to survive as a diabetic, at that time, a bottle of insulin cost $100. And without benefits, then I had to pay for my insulin out of pocket. Not to mention, I have to pay for the syringes, my hypertension medication, and everything was $100. The insulin, the hypertension medication, the syringes, and so on and so forth. So I explained to the African American judge that because of my condition, where I depended on my insulin, that I could not afford child support. A bottle of insulin was $100. My hypertension medication is $100. The syringes that I use to take the insulin cost $100. And I had to refill these medications every 30 days. So after explaining my circumstance, the judge said, I don't care. You are supposed to pay your child support. I said, but Your Honor, if I don't take my insulin, I could die. I'm a diabetic whose life depends on insulin. She said, I don't care. You are supposed to pay child support. And as a matter of fact, you are in arrears. And so what I'm going to do is put a court order together that says that you should pay. So what she did was she issued a court order that said, I think I was about $3,000 in arrears. And this was in July. So she said that, I should pay $1,000, within 30 days. Then within the next 30 days, I should pay another $1,000. And then 30 days after that, I should pay off the balance of my arrears. In addition, I should continue to pay child support on top of paying the arrears. Well, I have to tell you, I was devastated by the lack of concern for my health and well-being as an American citizen. Not to mention that I've never been in trouble with the law. I didn't even have so much as a traffic ticket that was outstanding. I had nothing outstanding. I had been educated, with a college degree, a master's degree. But unfortunately for me at that time, I was out of work and I was unable to pay my child support. And in effect, I was devalued by the law. As a matter of fact, things were so bad for me at that time that I remember people started saying, my friends and family, and even during the time when I was working, People were saying, Rob, you looking good, man. Are you working out? And I would say, working out? No, I'm not working out. I'm on that new diet. And they say, what new diet is that? And I would say, I'm on the child support diet where I can't afford to eat. And so I'm losing weight.